When we choose a car, we consider certain criteria. For some, design and comfort are most important. Others are more concerned about the capacity of the interior and the dimensions of the baggage compartment. Some pay major attention to engine power and maximum speed, while others are interested in fuel efficiency and low maintenance costs. Actually, most people want to have all these characteristics combined in the car in the best possible way. Does anyone choose a car based on its health benefits? What do you mean, you might ask? Every car is designed in order to make our lives easier, so it is a benefit for our health. However, this opinion is only correct from a certain perspective. There's another aspect of car operation which we unfortunately often try to ignore. Imagine next to your car a container filled with the car's emissions for a single day. Let's try to measure the air content in the container. The amount of toxic substances and the concentration of carbon dioxide exceed all existing limits. It's impossible to inhale this air. So, can we say that this car is good for health? Under normal conditions, we can't see its emissions because they are dispersed in the air. However, when we inhale them, all this toxicity gets inside our bodies unnoticed. Transportation systems have a substantial impact on the environment, accounting for 25% of global energy consumption and carbon dioxide emissions. In view of the magnitude of the problem, society is seeking ways to reduce the environmental impact and maintain high mobility at the same time. Here's a car that can be tested for healthiness. Surprisingly, the container next to it will be empty because this car produces no emissions. It's surrounded by clean air that you can breathe. It is our healthy future. It is the electric automobile. Today, it's the best means of transportation in terms of mobility and environmental safety. The electric car is driven by one or more electric motors powered by an independent source. No fuel is used, which makes it possible to avoid harmful emissions, as well as antifreeze, motor oils and filters for these fluids. The cost of power for an electric car is almost 5 times lower than the cost of fuel for conventional cars.
Затраты на топливо в среднем, если человек передвигается 60 км в день, 30 до работы, 30 обратно, с учетом пробок, составляет порядка 15-20 тысяч рублей. На электромобиль это будет составлять порядка 3-5 тысяч рублей всего в месяц. Но это не самое главное. Главное, этот транспорт экологически чистый. Этот транспорт обладает более высоким КПД по сравнению с двигателями внутреннего сгорания. У электромобиля КПД 95%. Это достаточно высокая цифра. Машина должна пойти в массы.
The development of mass use of electric automobiles in Russia, first of all, requires the creation of an appropriate battery recharging infrastructure. There's a need for a large network of auto-charging stations, since today it's almost non-existent. An important step in this direction was a decision by the Russian government on the 31st of August 2015 to allow gas stations to install chargers for electric motor vehicles. This initiative will create an incentive for the development of environmentally friendly transportation in Russia. While electric cars have just begun to spread in Russian cities, there is already an accessible mode of transportation which makes a significant reduction of emissions possible. It is hybrid cars. Using them is a successful intermediate step on the way to emission-free transportation. The hybrid car is driven by a combination of an electric motor and an internal combustion engine. This system can be powered both with combustible fuel and the electric battery. The engine automatically shuts down when stopping, and the car can continue to move without engine power, using the battery only, which makes it possible to travel long distances without using hydrocarbons. This factor makes hybrid vehicles ideal for the urban environment. The bulk of vehicle emissions in urban areas occur during traffic jams. However, hybrids are harmless when stationary and at slow speeds. The use of a hybrid can help to reduce emissions up to 80% compared with a conventional car. The road performance of a hybrid is not inferior, and in some cases even superior to conventional cars driven by internal combustion engines. In the near future, hybrids and electric automobiles will undoubtedly become the predominant means of transportation. We all need to step into a future of clean air in our cities.